Hello everyone, I've been making Start Your Day Off Right sermon videos and I want to keep making them, but today I want to bring you something a little bit more length to it. And I know I have talked along these lines before, but this is a subject that I'm pretty passionate about. Means a lot to me anyway. My scriptures are Proverbs 18:21. It says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof." And Proverbs 25:11, which says, a word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pitchers of silver." I remember watching a video of Craig Valentine, who was the Toastmaster champion of 1999, and he was talking about crabs in a barrel, and he said you could put them in the barrel and not even put a lid on them, because when one would start to get up to the top, the other one would bring him back down. When that one's getting at the top, another one would bring him back down. So they weren't getting out anywhere. Some people, that's what they want to do. They want to keep you from reaching the top. Even if they don't reach the top, they don't want you to. And Lance Miller, who's really helped me, he was the Toastmaster champion in 2005, and his winning speech was the ultimate question, and his ultimate question was, do you validate? You know, we tell kids when we can't wait for them to walk and talk, and then we're wanting them to sit down and shut up. That's what we tell them, and it's kind of conflicted in their minds. I try to bring out the best in people, especially children. And but I was telling you, Lance Miller really helped me. He said he talked like there was a validator within all of us. And my own experience with my dad. I was the first child, so I guess there's a little experimentation going on there. And he expected me, since I was the first child, to be perfect. I remember going and trying out for Little League Baseball. I made the All-Star team, and my dad had watched the major leaguers play. I played shortstop, and he would motion me back on the grass, because in the major leagues they can really hit it hard, but Little League, so my dad would be at the practice, a game or whatever, and my coach would be motioning for me to come in, and my dad would be motioning for me to go out, and that was pretty conflicting for me. And my dad, he would motion for me if I was playing third base to guard the line, and my coach was motioning for me to go over more towards the shortstop. I finally told my dad I couldn't stand it anymore. I couldn't obey both of them. But eventually I chose something my dad didn't know. I chose music, and we did fairly well. We auditioned for Ed Sullivan, so we did good. I was in a dance band, 14 pieces. So you don't need anybody telling you what you can't do and putting you down. People can program things into their own minds, the minds of their children. It would take a lifetime of deleting those files and getting them out of that. And I know you probably, like I said, you're probably saying, "Brother Dale, you've preached this before, or talked this before," but I believe in this. I told you about a man named Brother Harold Simmons. He's the one that made me want to do different. I would see him in a room full of other people, and he would be where he was talking to me at that particular time, and it was like there was no one else in the room. He looked deep into my eyes. He saw something in me that I couldn't even see in myself. And I saw him when he left me. He went to the next person, and he did them the same way. What a great talent it would be to be able to see the potential in other people and bring it out. And as Lance Miller said, and to validate it. I desire to find somebody that they can't even see their own talent and find it myself and help them to discover it. That would be so great. I heard a story about fleas in a jar. They said you could put fleas in the jar and put a lid on it. They would try to get out. They'd bump their little heads or whatever. And eventually you could take the jar lid off and they wouldn't even jump. They would think that they couldn't get out. They wouldn't try again. I know elephants, you could tie them with a chain and they try to move the chain off their leg and they can't. So after a while you can just tie a string around and they won't even try to get out. I think that's the way it is, that there's not really nothing tying us much, but we think it's a great thing and that we make it a great obstacle. My little grandson, Grant, I talk about him so much because he was the first grandson and I learned so much from him. And when he was little, about 4 or 5 years old, I suppose, I wanted him to not be like that I was at his age. I wanted him to believe in himself. I wanted him to have confidence. And so I told him, I said, Grant, you can do anything. I stressed it to him. I drilled it into him. Grant, you can do anything that you set your mind to. He had a job interview a while back, and I hope I'm getting this right, Grant, and he said that the man asked him what was it that motivated him, a saying, a quote, or something. And I guess the man was thinking he was going to quote Abraham Lincoln or John F. Kennedy, no, it's not what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country, or something like that. And Grant said, my papa said that I could do anything. The man said, your papa? And he said, yes. So you don't have to be dead. You don't have to be dead like some of these people they quote to help somebody. I want to make a difference in this life. I want to help somebody. And also I heard about limitations. I heard about the African impala, I think is what you call it. They could jump 30 feet, but you can encase it in a little old fence, and it won't even try to jump. And it's got the ability to do that and more. But so I want to encourage you this morning. If you've lived a life where people have been telling you what you can't do, I would like to help set you free. That's a prison, and I want to help you break out of that prison. You can, but you have to be relentless. You have to be consistent, and you have to be thankful. I see people that can get it going when they're around other people. They can believe in that they can do something. They see the other person doing it, but when it's just them by themselves, they lose track of that. You have to be relentless. You have to be consistent. And you have to be thankful. If you don't, I've kind of been this way. Well, not kind of. This is the way I've been. If I get up in church and I preach something and it doesn't go over good, like we said when we were growing up, it went over like a lead balloon or a screen door on a submarine or whatever you want to call it. And I've had those kind of sermons that just get up and try again. If you get knocked down 7 times, get up at least 7 times. So I want to be a determined person. I don't want to be easily discouraged, because after all, there's a lot to be done in the short time that we get to live, so we better be getting about it. Well, you may say, I'm too old. Well, I'm 72, but if I had a goal of reading the Bible through, and I read 3 chapters a day, it would take me a year, approximately. So I say, well, I'll be 73. Well, if I don't read the Bible, how old am I going to be? You got too much to do. So get up out of bed, rub your arthritic knees, put on a video from Brother Dale about start your day off right, Let's get to going. We've got too much work to do. So, and you can do it. And I believe that you can. So I hope this has helped you. Until we do this next time, this is Dale Cantrell of Meridian Holiness Church. I didn't do this to replace your minister or replace you getting to church, but I just did this as a supplement to you. And may God bless you is my prayer.